It's a very well-targeted, addressable ad that's relevant to the viewer. The viewer is going to interact with it somehow by clicking on it, telescoping somewhere to either long form, which is stored in VOD, DVR, view that longer form product, and then click to get more information, a catalog, get a phone call from a sales rep, order the product. And while all that's happening, the data is building up so that when we, again, send that next ad to that household, it's even going to be smarter based on the behavior from that last experience.
Whether we like it or not, more fragmentation is coming, more competition is coming. To the degree we're trying to protect our existing businesses, we're toast. And I really try hard not to let people protect existing businesses, because those businesses are going to be buffeted by competitive forces, whether we like it or not. And if we're trying to protect them, all we're doing is staving off the inevitable. And obviously the best example of that is the music industry. We have an obligation to maximize our existing businesses and to do the best job we can to maximize their profitability, to maximize their competitive position going on, but not to protect them. And what you better do on a sort of simplistic basis is you better build new businesses and new business models faster than the old ones may erode.
Mr. Chernin also said that copyrights will never stop content pirates. The only thing that can do that is media companies that become nimble and creative enough to anticipate and meet consumer desires more effectively than pirates do.
Clearly, I think all of us, whether we're on the distribution side of the business, the content side of the business, have a vested interest in protecting copyright. But I also think at the same time it's critical to point out that all of us had better figure out ways to deliver our product to consumers where they want it, when they want it, at a price that looks appealing to them. And that just the protection of copyright from a legal point of view is never going to be enough to stave off piracy. We have to, clearly there has to be base protection levels, but it also has to be combined with forward-thinking business models where we deliver our content in new and innovative fashion to people, because that's what consumers want. And if we don't do it in a legal way, they're going to find out an illegal way to get it from us.
In coming years, what it's going to be best served to do is actually cater to media buyers that are more interested in buying culture and cultural relevance and buying affiliations with the media company's content than the targeting and the addressability aspects of it, which might be where the actual scale is. And it's going to carry an additional premium because you'll be willing to pay more for more targeting, more addressability. But those kinds of budgets need to be variable. They need to be you need to be able to go up and down as the year goes on. You need to be able to get in and out whenever you need to, which kind of runs afoul of the whole upfront commitment.
For all its incredible promise, video on demand has not caught fire as an advertising medium. One reason is the lack of a universal metric system across all cable companies. Another is the technical barriers that require ridiculously long lead times for ad content insertions. To solve both of these problems, a consortium of cable giants has launched Project Canoe. This new effort was a hot topic at the cable show in New Orleans.
We know that advertisers want one easy way to do something across all footprints, not just individually with individual MSOs. So the key is, yes, dynamic ad insertion is powerful and important, but even the more powerful part is that we all do it in a similar fashion. It's an easy buying experience that crosses our footprints. That's where the real power is.
About 9 months ago, a bunch of us got together and decided to really get serious about having the industry work together to create something that we codenamed Canoe. We've hired a CEO who we're going to be announcing on June 1st, and we've started to staff up the Canoe effort, and we have high hopes for it.
Tax preparation giant H&R Block made a big leap into social media marketing this January. Its coordinated phalanx of messaging tools is quite impressive. It includes blogs, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, Second Life avatars, widgets, RSS feeds, chat rooms, and websites like H&R Block Digits.
Death and taxes, those are guaranteed. When I get my refund back, I'm spending it all on me.
And Block quickly created a viral hit in Truman Green, a fictional character who stars in a dozen web videos produced by the MRM agency in Minneapolis. Truman, a hopeless bumbler at everyday life tasks, has aced his tax filing at Block's online site. The series of YouTube videos documents how he inspires other consumers as baffled by tax forms as he is.
Before I saw Truman's videos, I felt like I had really low self-esteem. I was really bad at math. And now, after seeing him make a fool out of himself on YouTube, I feel smarter. I feel like I could do these taxes myself because I'm good enough.
Overseeing Block's new cyberspace efforts is Amy Worley, director of the company's digital marketing department. At Ad Age's Digital Bites breakfast this week, she discussed the triumphs and pitfalls encountered in the company's first large-scale social marketing initiative.
Advertising on social media can be a little bit risky because people are like, kind of get out of my space, but it has pros and cons. Like if we hadn't been on the homepage of YouTube, we wouldn't have gotten a whole bunch of subscribers, which helped spread the videos thereafter. So you kind of have to balance it, and I think the more entertaining you can be there, the better it works.
She went on to warn that social media advertising cannot be siloed or separated from a company's broader marketing activities.
We went into this as H&R Block Digital Tax Solutions. We went into this thinking we're going to be promoting the digital tax side of it, and I ended up helping people with customer service issues who had been in the office and talking at least as much about our retail tax offerings as about digital, because when you're out there as the brand. Nobody else out there knows your brand silo. So I think it's really important to get the whole organization behind it and prepared to go into it before you start.
Ms. Worley also learned that social marketing has low media costs but high manpower demands.
Well, it can be a really small percentage of your budget, depending what you spend in actual media costs. It can be a very large commitment of time. You do have to be part of the community, and you have to be responsive, and that means somebody has to be in there with everybody else as part of this all the time. So be prepared to really have a time commitment in there.
I'm getting $7 CPMs, okay? Generic social networking, 20 cents, and I'm getting $7. The problem is the great paradox, which is the highest effectiveness is at the lowest volume, which means that I've now spent an embarrassing amount of the hours of my day working on a site that generates $380 a month in AdSense. How do we turn this into something that generates real absolute numbers that moves the needle? And the only answer to that is to do more of them and to scale, so it requires less of me and more of the...
Microsoft has a very interesting piece of news out today, which is it's trying a very unusual tactic to lure more people to its search engine. It's going to pay them. Theory sounds pretty simple. You use Microsoft's Live Search to find a product, you buy the product, and Microsoft will give you a percentage of the product's price back in cash, compliments of Live Search. In reality, it's a little bit more difficult. Users actually have to create an account, and only certain products are eligible. But it gets at a larger issue for Microsoft, which is growing its search query share. This is priority number one for Microsoft and its search business, and it's one of the big reasons that Microsoft attempted to acquire Yahoo. Who knows if paying users will create long-term loyal users of Live Search, but it looks like in the meantime Microsoft is willing to try putting its money where its mouth is.
And in other news, as ad agencies continue to reinvent themselves, some are moving from selling products to creating their own. Recent launches include Brooklyn Brothers Fat Pig Organic Chocolates and Mother New York Scented Candles. Mother has turned out so many products, the London arm of the agency has opened a shop to hawk its candles in many coffee table books. Ad Age reporter Rupal Parikh says that the trend is only going to get hotter as Anomaly launches a shaving cream for women in Target stores. Since her story appeared in Ad Age earlier this week, Ms. Parikh has received a continuing stream of calls and emails from other agencies doing the same.
We've had an outpouring of agencies telling us that they too are creating their own products. Everything from a North Carolina agency called the Paragraph Project that has created their own line of energy drinks that is called Canodate, and it is to inspire young voters to get out there and vote. There is another agency called the Ad Store, which has created its own extra virgin olive oil and other gourmet Italian products. So lots of examples of this going on, and I think we'll be hearing a lot more about it.